Welcome to Entrepreneur Magick. For those of you who don't know, I love salsa music. So I thought we'd start with a little jingle. Hi guys, welcome to Entrepreneur Magick. That's a mouthful. A show we host here at Localtude every Monday, 11 a.m. Pacific. And we are educating small business owners, mom and pop shops, solopreneurs on how to connect directly with their communities for success. All right, we are super glad you're here and I welcome you. Around here, we believe the world is full of people who are excited and eager to support local businesses. And we are committed to helping you as business owners, small business owners, tap into that connection. So we are glad you're here. Thanks for joining us, whether you're here with us live or whether you are watching this on replay. We are happy to have you. I'm your host, Christina Safford. I'm championing the American dream, elevating the voices of entrepreneurs everywhere and educating consumers on clever ways to support small and shop local. Welcome. Today we are talking about success, everybody's favorite topic. We are going to do a little myth busting today, and I am super excited about that because we are going to give you some myths that are out there, and then we're going to bust them up a little bit, and then we're going to come back, and at the end, we're going to talk to you about some out-of-the-box ways to start thinking as a small business owner in ways that you can start to unravel all of that myth, gross struggle that you have out there and turn it into success. So stick with us and let us know in the comments what you think. Certainly follow us and click on those awesome little ring dings, bells, and follow us and all that fun stuff. You know the drill. All right. So the first myth we are going to bust apart today is the word success. What does success mean to you? Whether you're watching this now or whether you're watching this later, I want you to take a minute and think about that. What does the word success mean to you as an entrepreneur, especially as a small business owner? I want you to think about it for a minute, and I want you to please take action for yourself and put it in the comments. What does success mean? How do you, as a small business owner, define that? Go ahead and drop it in the comments for yourself, because I want you to see how it changes for yourself once we start talking about this and start busting. Wow, my words are all mangled today. Start busting up some of the myths around that word success. So if you haven't already, drop it in the comments. And then we're going to talk a little bit about that word. Success is really defined differently for everybody. We all know that. But we fall into this trap as small business owners of letting somebody else define success for us. And who do you think that is? It's not small business owners. It's not communities. It's not your friends and family. It's these big, huge, massive corporations who are operating on a completely different wavelength than you are. And that's just crazy. How are we allowing that to equate our success? I mean, okay, so we've done a lot of market research. I created an app and for small business owners, and in the process of that, we did a ton of market research, and we kept asking small business owners, you know, what's important to you? And every time we heard, you know, it's just really important to me to provide for my for my family, for the people who depend on me, for my employees. It's really important to me to leave a legacy. Those are the things we heard over and over and over and over. That is success. And that looks different for everybody because everybody's needs are different. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody's people who depend on them is different. But as small business owners, why have we forever said, well, if we don't reach this target up here of the Nikes of the world, of the big box stores of the world, then we haven't succeeded? Come on! That's crazy. So no, we need to change our definitions of success. We need to start shifting that perception we have in our heads of what success looks like. Because first of all, it only matters for you. Nobody else gets to define that. Why are we letting somebody else define that? So I really want to bust this myth wide open and say, you need to define success for yourself and only let that definition be what you go forward in business with. As a small business owner, you don't have to want the American dream. We're all locked into this concept that we've only achieved success if we're finally on par with the big corporations of the world and we're matching all of the things they're able to do. The money, the bottom line, the presence on Google, first page listing, the social media, and we're locked into that because those are the only ways we know to succeed, right? Those are the only avenues we've been given. And that's what we're here doing, is we're busting up all of that and saying there is actually a different way to do this. And around here, we believe that is directly connecting small businesses and small business owners to their communities, because that direct link, without all the other noise and without all the other struggle, is easy. And oh my gosh, it's like, whoa, mind blown, right? Because if we cut out the triangle that small business owners have to go through corporations to reach their communities, and we just make it a straight line between small businesses and their communities, why has this not existed before? So that's what we're talking about, is we want you as a small business owner to succeed. And the way to do that is to connect directly to your community. So let's go get it. So that's the first myth we're busting up today. And we are actually going to throw 2 myths in today. And we hope you'll join us every Monday at 11:30 Pacific, because we are going to be doing this magic hour for entrepreneurs every week. And we are going to cover 2 myths. I'm going to really give you some gold today, okay? Because I think these 2 go hand in hand. And I think we really need to be talking about them hand in hand. Because if we don't, then we're left with kind of wondering, well, how? How do we do anything about that? Sure, it sounds great, Christina, but if I can't use Google and I can't use social media, which I'm not saying you can't use Google and you can't use social media, of course, do those. If they work for you, great. The world is all around all of that, right? And so, of course, there's that component, but we don't have to struggle so much. We don't have to trudge through that. There are other ways, and nobody's talking about that. So we're talking about that. And if I don't give you this other myth that we're about to bust open, then I'm not giving you a way to do it. So I'm going to give you this next myth. All right. So I've got another question for you. We all hear constantly that we have to be first. We have to be the best at something. We have to stand out in the crowd. We have to, be more present. We have to pay more money. We have to, all of these things, because it's like, as small business owners, we're stuck in a game, a brutal game of Monopoly. Okay, and I use that example because my big sister, I'm going to admit, and she's probably going to watch this video and go, what? But she was awful to play board games with because she was so competitive. I literally lost on purpose so I could get out of games faster because I was like, oh, heck no. I can't handle it. I don't want it. I go ahead and win. I mean, I would literally feed her money so I could get out of the games. That's a fun memory. But that competition exists in the world of small business brutally on 2 levels, okay? One, because we're trying to constantly compete with corporations, and we're trying to compete with these corporations that have money and staff and whole departments that focus just on this one little tiny thing. And as a small business owner, we're like, oh, we have to do that too. Okay, but I'm a solopreneur or I'm a mom and pop shop. So I'm going to try to do 19 people's jobs in 1 hour. Come on. We have to stop doing that. We have to stop competing with corporations that have all the money to throw at something and all the staff to throw at something that they can even think of, right? We can't compete with that. Let's take a step back from all of that and realize and recognize and acknowledge that we can't compete with that. And so I told you I had a question for you. So here's my question for you. Who do you most compete with in your small business? Think about it for a minute, because it might not be who you think it is. And when you realize who it is, I want you to put it in the comments, because that's going to hold you accountable, okay? Accountable to start to switch your thinking. So drop it in the comments, whether you're here with me live right now or whether you're watching this on replay. I want you to put in the comments, who do you as a small business owner most compete with? Because that competition, although competition can be a beautiful, wonderful, driving force, but we've become tied into it in a way that's really unhealthy. And so I want to start breaking that myth open a little bit and getting you to recognize that there's another way to do this, okay? You don't have to drop all your cards and get out of the game like I used to with my sister. You don't have to do that, because there is another way, and that's a collaborative type of thinking. And we're going to talk about that here in just a sec. But I want you to think about it. I want you to really dig deep here and think about, who do you most compete with? Is it the big corporations that do what you do? Is it companies that you shouldn't be competing with because they have more money, resources, and time than they can shake a stick at, as my grandpa would say? Or is it another local small business that you always see what they post and you're like, oh, they got to it before me. I was going to do that. Or, man, that was a good idea. Why didn't I think of that? Is it another local, small business owner that does the same thing or does a similar enough thing that you're competing with them? Is it a family member that also has a small business? Might not even be in the same field you're in, but you feel like you have to rise to that level. Is it yourself? Are you competing with your own expectation of yourself? That's a huge one. And as small business owners, if we are going to start succeeding, we have to. It is essential. We have to start changing competition into collaboration. Because as a small business, that's where our success lies. And it lies there because collaboration opens doors where competition shuts them. And competition might make us rise up to the occasion. And there's some amazing and wonderful things about competition, don't get me wrong. But as a small business owner, we are literally taking a gun and shooting ourselves in the foot. Oh my gosh, I probably will get blocked for that because it's social media. So sorry. I hope I don't. But come on, let's start collaborating. Let's find ways to engage with those people that we hold up here as our competitors. Because I bet if you were to start thinking about them less as competitors and more as collaborators, your brain will start opening doors and thinking of like different things you can do and, different ways you in the same business doing the same thing, since you have the same customer base, could collaborate and make way for both of you to succeed. And that's true even if your competitor is a big corporation. Think about that for a second. Just because you do what some big, huge corporation does doesn't mean they wouldn't be willing to collaborate. But we don't even open that door in our heads because, there's no way. Well, there might be. You never know until you ask. So start thinking about collaboration. Start thinking about ways to collaborate. Start thinking about how can I open a door instead of close a door in my head? Start thinking about, I don't have to rise to this level because the level I want to be at isn't there. I don't want to have to have a staff of 2,000. I don't want to have to work 24/7. I don't want to have to whatever. You became a small business owner for a reason. What are those reasons? It might be extra time or the ability to define your own time. It might be a better work-life balance. It might be to be able to take vacations. It might be creative juices, that you really wanted to pursue. It might be to be there for a family member. It might be 1,000 different things. But when you start thinking about that, you're creating your own reality. So why not create your own reality and your own happy with collaboration? Just start thinking about that, okay? All right, so I have myth busted a couple big doozies today. So we are gonna go back over them for a second, and then I'm gonna give you some real fun tips to kind of help this keep cycling in your head all week and see if you can open some doors for yourself and find success as an entrepreneur. So we have talked about 2 major myths today. 1, success is going to exterminate the entrepreneur. That term, success, and what we hold ourselves up to, success, may not even be what you want. So look at it closely. And instead of having that term success make you try to rise to something that you don't even want, redefine it so you don't get exterminated, because that's definitely not the path to success. All right, myth number 2 is that competition strangles small businesses. And we don't want you to be strangled. We want you to fly and succeed and soar. So stop strangling yourself with competition and these thoughts of, I have to blank. No, you don't. Start finding collaborations, okay? All right, again, we would love to hear your comments on this. We would love to hear what you think about these concepts and about the things we're saying. So please jump in, be a part of the conversation. And our tips for you today as a small business owner, and you are going to hear us say this again and again and again until you can quote it right back to me, okay? I am going to invite you to invite your community to tango with you, or whatever other kind of dance you want to do. We have an amazing opportunity right now. We have the whole world talking about supporting small businesses. Our president, our vice president, even your credit card. Everybody's talking about supporting small businesses, but the world is ready to support small business owners, but the reality is they don't know how. So we have to teach them how. And that's part of the conversation we're having here at Localtude, and we're going to be having with community as well. So catch that on one of our other shows. But we have to teach them the steps of how to best support us as small business owners. We have to invite them to dance with us, okay? And so we've got 3 fun little tips. And like I said, you're going to hear me say these over and over and over and over until you can quote them back to me. Okay, it takes 2 to tango. So the first thing we want you to remember is to take 1 step back from the social, what we around here call the social sludge, because running yourself ragged to be seen in a noisy, saturated market that's overwhelmed means you're spending your time doing something that doesn't allow you the time to do what you love. And we hear over and over and over and over and over and over, did I make my point? From small business owners that they are so tired of the hustle. And the reality is, it's not helping you. So why are you doing it? So take a step back. Your first tango step, as we're learning to tango with our community, is to take a step back from the social sludge. That doesn't mean you don't have, you have to ignore it, or I'm saying, it's all bad. It's not. There are amazing people out there doing amazing things. But take that time that you'll save by digging yourself into the ground and truly connect to the customers you already have. Okay, that's what I want you to do this week. Because when you reignite your passion for what you do, that is what your customer and new customers lock into. That's what they respond to. So take that time, take a step back from the social sludge, and your next dance step in helping your community learn to tango with you is to slide and sidestep the algorithm. Okay? The algorithm is not in your favor. It was created by big business. It benefits big business. It does not consider you as a small business. Let's be honest. Okay? Slide to sidestep the algorithm altogether. Take the line, like we were talking about the triangle, and avoid the corporation benefiting from your big business. Slide straight over to your customer, right over to your community, and connect directly with them. You don't have to play the algorithm game. Okay? That promise of natural reach, it makes us crazy trying to compete. Don't compete. Okay? Find your collaborators. Find your community. Connect directly with them. It's time to shift that focus off of corporations and into communities. Okay, so slide. And then last step in the learning to tango with your community is to take 2 steps forward with your new partner, the community. We have to move forward with our community. And to do that, we have to teach them how. And we are going to be doing that here at Localtude for you. But feel free to jump in, be part of the conversation, and help your community also connect with you in ways that you come up with, and then share them. Okay? We have a world that's ready to support small, but we have to teach them how to engage. And you do that simply by being yourself, being authentic and true, and showing up. But that doesn't necessarily mean from behind a computer or from behind a screen. That just means in whatever way works for you. And we're going to be talking through a lot of those ideas and options and some creative habits you can get into as an entrepreneur. But we can't do it all today. So keep coming back and let's keep talking about it. It's never been easy for people to support small. It just hasn't. So we are going to start making it easy here at Localtude to support small business. And one of those steps in making it easy is teaching you as entrepreneurs how to connect to your communities. So make it fun for them. Find that point, the intersection point between where your needs and their needs meet, because that's the point at which you get to start walking forward with your community, your new partner, and you get to take tango to a whole new level and start to truly engage with them and become their dance partner. Okay. So we're really, really, really glad you are here today. And we hope that you will keep joining us. Again, we're here with Entrepreneur Magick every Monday at 11:30. And we are talking about success. We're talking about connecting communities. We're talking about engaging consumers in new and creative ways. And we look forward to all that you have to add to the conversation. You can find us at localtude.com. You can also find us pretty much on any social media platform that's out there. We're on Facebook and Twitter and Clubhouse and TikTok and everything else. So come join us, come join the conversation, and welcome to the family. This week, find a small business owner you know and share this with them. And we look forward to inviting you to the midday meal every Monday and talking more about your success. Take care. Ciao.